Hi, I'm Holly. Welcome back to my channel. Well, today we're talking allergies. Help, they're killing me. So my phone, I've been health coaching for almost 20 years. I have been doing it from a nutritional angle as an RN. So my phone blows up during 6th season. So I have sent audios and the same information I'm about to give you right now, which is also in my book. So you can get that also. You can reach out to me privately through Messenger and get that. You can also go right over to my website, which is Midwest Meanderings. This is the handy dandy packaging you would see it in, and isn't that a cute little logo? That's all throughout the book. We'll get that out of the way. So MidwestMeanderings.com, check out there and sign up for our email list so you can find out what's going on. So today we're talking about allergies. This has been the biggest season for allergies in the last 4 months. So a lot of people have been reaching out in December and November, and they're like, I'm having allergies. And I'm like, there's never any allergies in November, December. Usually that's the respite time where you get a break. So I've been helping people how to help their sinuses when you have wetness in your head. Those were not allergies. Those were actually a very strange strand of a cold that's staying right here. It's not going here, which is kind of good, but it's really miserable. So anyway, I want to help you right here in the middle of spring coming early in Missouri. We have been having above 70 temperature now we're in week 3. Now we had -10 all of January and a good part of February, so we're appreciating this, but everything is blooming early. So let me tell you what to do to remedy that. I have some ounce of preventions that I'll include at the end, but let's go with the 911 that you need right now to get this under control and to keep you out of the doctor's office. So stick around. We're going to keep talking about these kind of things. There's lots of content on my channel, so check it out. We love to heal people. So I kind of arranged my little coffee area, and these are all of your items that you need. So I'm going to just start at the top. So first of all, I want you to know when you're dealing with allergies, when you're dealing with a cold. So if you have wetness, pressure, your head's hurting, your sinuses are hurting, but you don't have any body aches, you don't even have a low-grade fever, you're dealing with seasonal allergies. Now, there are ounces of prevention. Let me just mention that right now. This is one of the most powerful things you can do to mediate seasonal allergies. There are lots of remedies out there. Honey and bee pollen that's local, drinking raw milk local, all those things. This is something you can just order. You can order it off my website. That's an easy way, or you can just go to Amazon and look up Green Pastures fermented cod liver oil capsules. This is orange flavored just because you're putting fermented fish oil here. So, you know, you kind of just want a little bit of happy. So this prevents seasonal allergies, and it will actually mediate them. So if you are getting slammed with seasonal allergies, I would order this right away. It's not a budget-friendly item. It's about $30 to $34, depending upon if you can find it on sale. 2 or 3 a day. If you're over 200 pounds, I would do 3 a day. If you're under 2 a day. And if you're talking about a child, 1. So this one is going to boost your immune system. And within 2 weeks, it's going to drop your impact of the seasonal allergies significantly by like 2/3. And then eventually like altogether. All right, now this is what I teach everybody to do. These 3 items. So this is what you do when you know you're not infected. Now, if you are infected, I'm going to take you to the next spot. And that my book has all of that in there, but I have it all over my YouTube channel for free. And if you know anybody who can't afford to buy my book on Amazon or buy me directly, let me know. I'll send it to them for free. So, because I want to heal the bride of Christ. I want us off-grid medically. So your number one friend, there's a lot of brands. There's generic ones, there's brand ones. This one's Arm & Hammer, Simply Saline. There's one called Ocean. And all of those you can get on Amazon. You can get them at Walgreens. But you need this right away. So this is basically giving your sinuses a bath. So you squirt, and I'm going to squirt. See how easy that is? You just push that, and it may not show up on the camera. But you squirt, and it goes all the way up where it needs to go. Now, there are the kind you squeeze, and you can get all of these generic brand, which makes it cheaper. This is just something I had on sale on Amazon, and I got a 2-pack. So, and you squirt, snuff, squirt, snuff, and you alternate 3 or 4 times a day. So there's your 3 or 4 times. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, etc. So 3 or 4 times a day. That's going to keep things moving. If you keep things moving, they're not going to get infected. Okay, now people that have a lot of pressure and that are dealing with pain, and they've been doing this for a couple of days, and color shows up. Now, if you see white or yellow, you're infected. So there's next steps for that. So stick around to the next steps, but I want to start with what's first. So first thing is clean it out, move it, keep it moving. And then this is a steroid nasal spray. It's equivalent to Flonase. You can get Flonase anywhere. You can only get this one at Aldi's, but it's literally half the price of Flonase. Same exact product, same ingredient, same volume. So it's worth going, and you're only going to do this twice a day, 1 to 2 squirts per side. And this is going to put a steroid right here and shrink that tissue and calm it down so you can breathe. So this is really helpful. You don't need this right away, but if it's persisting for several days and you're kind of miserable, you're going to need that. Okay, the next thing I highly recommend, especially when you're finding it's kind of thick and it's hard to get it out, is Mucinex Extra Strength, but plain. It's just Mucinex, no extra letters. And what this does, it's a time release. You only take it once a day in the morning. And there's multiple layers, but what you do is you take that in the morning, and what that's going to do, let me keep it out for a second longer, is it's going to liquefy these secretions that are all gooped up because you're allergic to your environment. So that's going to be super helpful. Never take that at night because then it liquefies your secretions that are here and it makes it drain down your eustachian tube to your ear, and then you basically have a recipe for an ear infection. So don't do that. All right, so this you're going to stay with until it is all the way gone. And this you're adding on if after a few days you're just super miserable. Okay, so the next item I would do right away is Zyrtec. Now this is called Allertec. It's Kirkland, which is Costco, cheaper, a whole lot cheaper than the brand name. And it's the exact same ingredient. You may like Claritin, I prefer Zyrtec. Anyway, you're gonna just take that once a day. It's a 24-hour tablet, and take that once a day until all that pressure's gone and all that misery and wetness is gone. Now, if you've got color in your sinuses, like you're blowing your nose, like you're snuffing, coughing, bringing it up, and you always spit part of it into a tissue, you want to look at the color. If you see clear, you're in good shape. You are still dealing with just an allergy or maybe even a cold. So I'll explain a cold in a minute. So hold on to that, put a tab there. I'll come right back to that because we want to know what to do. All this works for a cold. All of this works also for the flu. All of it. Eat all the way to the end. So hang in there. All right, so, but pressure, you're miserable, your throat's itchy and it's sore. So this is what you're going to add on board right away, day one. So these are all day ones. Now Mucinex, you can hold off on. That's kind of an expensive item. So that's not exactly a day one, but if you find that it's hard to get things moving and out, or you're feeling it cake up at the back of your throat, Mucinex is going to help you. Hot liquids are great too. Hot water with lemon in it, hot tea, coffee, not so much because it's, caffeine, so it's going to have a dehydrating effect. Okay, so we're going to stay with this whole little routine until it either does one of two things. It just resolves in about a week or two, or it changes color. So once it goes from clear to white, you now have a bacterial infection in addition to seasonal allergies. So the reason that matters is because if we hit this early, it's not going to take much to get that completely under control with the GSC protocol. Now, if you've been around my channel very long, you know I'm a nurse, almost 40 years, graduated in the 80s from Medical College of Georgia. And the good Lord, 17 years ago, gave us a beautiful, powerful download, which is the heart of this book. The Arc of Natural Remedies is the name of the series, but how to heal infections naturally and powerfully is what this entire book is. It's 17 years of my journey with the Lord healing our chronic respiratory infections that we would get sometimes 8 to 10 times a year. So the Lord, after much intercession and praying and sometimes being a little pushy, gave us the GSC protocol. So that's in the book. You won't find that anywhere else because that was from the Lord. I would love for everybody to have it. They can copy it. They can reproduce it. It belongs to the King of Kings, and it's meant to heal the bride. So we're going to get to the GSC protocol because now we're talking about you have color. So if you have white or yellow, it's time to go to work. So your next step is my GSC protocol. Now part of it is a probiotic at bedtime. So if you again have been around my channel for a while, you know I'm a huge advocate of a probiotic or probiotic rich food, and I don't mean any probiotic rich food. Fermented kefir is like the most fermented, deeply cultured, we're talking billions of bacteria, friendly bacteria, that culture your gut and keep everything humming along. So the reason that matters is anytime you're on an antibiotic, Exhibit A, you want to have friendly guys going into your gut at bedtime. So I always tell people, take your probiotic at bedtime. That way, if you need an antibiotic, whether from the doctor, which isn't synthetic, or whether from the GSE protocol, then you can keep your gut intact, happy, cultured, and not even have any trouble. No yeast infections or stomach bugs. Those are all a result of a gut that is not properly cultured. Now, prior to 100 years ago, nobody had to buy probiotics because nobody had refrigeration. So guess what? How we preserved food? Fermenting. And whatever preserves food preserves us by the design of the Lord. We're talking thousands of years, people. That's how they rolled. Okay, so back to the GSE protocol. So these are 00 empty capsules. Kind of shiny. They're empty. You just open them up and fill it up. That's 25 drops. Now, this dispenser is designed to count drops. But as soon as you get used to what I'm teaching you, you're going to understand each one of these has 25 drops. So unless you're wanting to bodybuild your fingers, you're going to snip the lid. And then all you're going to do is pour and fill it to the top, put a lid on, and that is a single dose for a small adult. Let me caution you. The only thing that you can do wrong with this protocol is two things. Not do it exactly the way I tell you. 00 capsules, fill it up with Zazzy brand GSE probiotic at bedtime. The only other thing you could do wrong is not take enough. So the 48-hour mark, 72 at the latest, if at 48 hours you're doing what I'm telling you to do, and I will tell you the dose for adults and children roughly. My book has it way thoroughly, and I have a medical prep video that I go all the way through everything, including children, very thoroughly. It's an hour long. You're welcome to look it up. I'll put it down below, also in the show notes. Okay, so this right here is an antibiotic, not at the dosage that it recommends. It is at the dosage that I recommend. That's my protocol with the Lord. Okay, we just call it the GSE protocol. It's nothing fancy. So you're going to fill these babies up. If you fill them up in advance, I had a friend recently, her son works in the ER, he's really busy, body heat, all that stuff. So she was just prepping them for him, and he had them in his pocket. And then, a few hours later, they're all mush. Okay, so these are gelatin, so they will dissolve when they get in your belly, and it will make mush. So if you do pre-make them for the day, just put them somewhere where they're not going to be warm. Like if they're in the sun or the dash of your car, they're going to melt. So just keep them somewhere kind of cool and in the dark, and they'll stay just fine. So you're going to do the GSE protocol, which is for a small adult. Like if you're upwards of 200 pounds, then I'm going to recommend you do more. But you could start on one capsule, because if you have white, you're just getting started. And like I said, the only thing you do wrong is not to take your probiotic at bedtime. You only need one. The other thing you do wrong is not take enough. So in 48 hours of taking my protocol, if you're better, we're good to go. Now, if you take this for allergies and there's no color, and you're like, man, it didn't work. I'm like, it doesn't treat allergies. It treats the secondary bacterial infections that always come. Wetness and warmth invite cooties, bacteria. Secondary infections are what land you at the doctor's office, and sometimes land you in a hospital. A secondary infection can take your life. I have seen it. You can have secondary sinus infection, a secondary ear infection, a secondary bronchitis, secondary upper respiratory infection, which includes everything, secondary infection, which is your lobes of your lungs, which is called pneumonia. So if we hit this early, we can prevent that. So I'm all about prevention. It's my favorite flavor. So here we go. So this GSE right here is going to shut down that infection. You're going to take it one capsule for a small adult or a larger child or a youth 3 times a day with food. If you're older, not older, but you're bigger, take 2. It does no harm to take more than you need. It does take harm to too little. So err in the direction of more than you need. So once you start that, within 48 hours, you should be feeling better, but you may not feel better, but the color goes away. The color matters. That needs to be my hashtag for GSE protocol. Color matters. So white is barely infected. Go ahead and get started, knock it down. You might only need it for a week. So it is an antibiotic. It's not a magic pill. You're gonna need it for at least a week. You want to take it until the color is gone. And when you see the color is gone, that is the beginning of your next 5 days. So if you take it for 3 days, the color is gone, you've nailed it. Good job. Take it 5 more days and your color should never come back. But if you take it and you take the dosage you think you should be taking, in 48 hours, the color went from white to yellow, you need to now double the dosage. You can go 1.5 up to double. Like I said, too much is not a problem as long, oh, this is such a small bottle. I got a new one in there. This one's rattling like crazy. It shocked me. And by the way, this is the best probiotic on the planet. No, I don't get any kickbacks. Yes, you can order it through my website, which gives us, you know, a way to keep the lights on and keep content going. But it's just the best. It's a soil-based organism. So keep this at night. Please don't fudge on this part, okay? Because if you do this, you honestly could take antibiotics for 30 days and have no other problems. Okay, so we're at the 48-hour mark. We're feeling better. Finish off your 5 days. If you're at this 48-hour mark, your color went from white to green, double the dose because you now have an entrenched infection. You might have it for a variety of reasons. Can't go into every little reason for why, but once you see green or yellow-green, it's called bring out the big guns, baby. Boom, 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 boom. That means double it. I've gone as far as tripling. Seriously, I have a friend, I'll give you a nod, I won't say his name, but he's had persistent lung infections for quite a long time, probably at least a year from what I'm recalling. He got a hold of us late last year. We turned him on to the protocol. He was on synthetic antibiotics nonstop. He could not get off of them and he could never get well. Using the GSE protocol, he has learned to tinker his dosage. And then finally, after a while, I was like, there's something going on. You're either allergic to some kind of food or you're allergic to something that's in your environment. We just found out this week, at my suggestion, more than a few times, almost a little pushy with my little health coaching, is test and find out if you've got black mold. We just found out, like this week, that he has black mold, which is discouraging but encouraging because you should never have an infection that you need to take something, whether it's synthetic or natural, for a full month. So, all right. So GSE is miraculous. It is great. It is a natural, powerful antibiotic, and it will shut down all bad bacteria. Now it will give a little hit to your friendly guys. So that's why we're doing that probiotic. And then once you're done with your GSE protocol, what I recommend is that you up your probiotic to twice a day. And then after that, you can add a probiotic rich food after a couple weeks of the probiotic. Then add like kefir. We have, hold on. We do 2 gallons at a time. So this one just got set up yesterday. So there's 2 gallons. This is gallon 1. It's raw and it's beautiful. Those are kefir grains at the bottom. I have videos to teach you how to do that. So let me set that over here. Come back in because we're not editing. So y'all, thank you for the grace on that one. All right, I think we have just a little bit left. So if you know you have a really compromised immune system, I would encourage you to get a hold to a couple of immune system boosters. My favorite is echinacea. Most people tolerate this beautifully. This is a product by a company that I love called Gaia Herbs, and it's Echinacea Supreme. It's a nice blend. It is a tincture that's in a capsule. These tinctures can taste crazy, but as you can see, there's a liquid in there. This right here, 2 of them at bedtime and 2 in the morning. You could do it more often and it gives you the frequency on there. That will boost your immune system for the next couple of weeks while you're healing. This is an echinacea tea. You can get this at Walmart. This you can only get at Amazon. I think, pretty sure that Whole Foods and Sprouts might carry this, not sure. They do carry some of the Gaia line. I love this whole line. But this is an echinacea tea, and you can take 1 bag and mix it with another flavor that you like, or just water. It does have some flavors that I don't particularly like, but it's not really bold, so it would be easy to hide. And just brew this 2 or 3 times a day because you're trying to loosen these secretions. So hot liquids are going to help, Mucinex is going to help, a hot shower is going to help. And that is Allergies, and holly in one short video. So now I'm gonna just give you a little bit more. And again, the GSE protocol is never meant to do just a few days. You need to do it the same like the time you would do an antibiotic, which is about 10 days. But your key to know you're healing is when the color has dropped back to clear, and then that's day 1. You have 5 days of clear, you can totally stop the protocol, and then you're going to double up on your probiotic for the next couple of weeks. So then you're done. You're going to prevent it from going here. Everything I'm telling you is preventing an upper respiratory infection and pneumonia. So a sinus infection, allergies, or wetness in your head that caused the sinus infection that came from a cold or the flu, those are all like the infection. The secondary bacterial infection is a secondary infection. It came second. What came first is either allergies, a cold, or the flu. What you do about it is always the same. You see color, go to work. If you're not sick right now, get all this in your house so that you'll be ready if you do. Or, send this video to a loved one and get them ready. And of course, my book is everything that I just told you plus a whole lot more, and 17 years of testimonies all in one book. So we would love for you to purchase that. And I think that is all I have to tell you about allergies. Help, they're killing me. Bless you. Thank you for dropping by our channel. And thank you for your patience as we've been busy. We're working on some more books. And so videos are not going to be coming out quite as frequently, but this one was definitely a 911. I have probably health coached about 30 people in the last 2.5 months to do with sinuses and allergies. So this video is a tool for me, so I can put me in a video and send it to a friend or send it to somebody who's reaching out for help, and you can do the very same thing. So definitely subscribe, turn on notifications, and please subscribe to our website, our emails, that we don't spam, we don't sell anything, but you'll be the first one to know if we've got a new video coming out or if we have a new book being released. God bless you, and thanks for dropping in.